Hi guys, and welcome back. We are going to be working on part 2 in Johanna's Christmas book, our Flying Rudolph here. Oh, and I got an email, and I had just read it a couple minutes ago. And to answer your question with these bracelets, my kids give them to me. So like this one here says Merry Christmas. This one says Happy Birthday, and these two are Lego bracelets. So yeah, and every time they get a new one for me, I put it on, but they tell me that I have to keep them all on. So I mean, who knows? Pretty soon I'm gonna have a whole arm of them. I don't know. So anyway, back to Rudolph. So you guys know that in my last video, I had said that I was debating on what I'm going to do with all of these. And I decided to just do them all green. Some of them are going to be different shades of green, but I decided to go ahead and do them green and not make the ivy leaves a different color. So let's zoom you in and get started. Okay. So the greens that I decided to use, we're going to start out with these big leaves here. Because they're kind of the bulkiest. So what I picked is I got dark green, which is 025. And I forgot on my first video to put the colors that I used on here. So I'll put them in the description of this video along with the green ones. I have green 031. I have grass green, which is 041. We have green yellow, which is 044. And I grabbed this light lime, which is 045. I grabbed it, and I don't know how much I'm going to use it, but if I do, it'll just kind of be like a light line, a little highlight area. I'm just not sure yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this big one right here. So of course, next to the poinsettia flower, I'm going to go pretty dark, because I'm going to imagine that poinsettia is kind of shadowing it, just like underneath this little leaf here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this stem. So for all of those who asked, Xander's procedure, why can't I ever say that word? Endoscopy. That's the word. Went really good. I mean, he was not happy, of course, and he was fighting a little bit. I'm going to switch to the green. He was crying because I wasn't, in the room with him. But it went really good. And the thing that was kind of really cool, and I've never had this happen before, is the hospital actually gave me pictures of his insides. Like before we left, they came in. They kind of said what was going on, and they gave me pictures. And I thought that was so neat. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to darken this up, just like I do everything else. So yes, we have to go back. They did some biopsies because the lining of his stomach had all of these bumps in it. So they're going to check that out, and we go back next week, the day after Christmas, and we find out what's going on with him finally. Hopefully he'll get some relief, and that would just be really nice because he's been in pain for so long. I wanted to record tonight because my goal, and I'm hoping that it happens, is to get this done before Christmas. Trying. Oh my God. I sharpened, when I sharpen my other pencils, I kind of sharpen these at the same time. So of course I sharpened them a little longer than I like, but that's okay. Eventually the tips are all gonna break off, and I'll be able to sharpen them how I want to. Okay, let me get my brush here. Brush that off. So all of these big leaves, I'm pretty much going to follow the same colors. Like I said, that light lime, I might do like down here on this veined leaf a little bit, maybe over here on these little ones. I haven't really decided yet. I just pulled it out in case I need something a little brighter. So this outside area here, I want to kind of keep kind of dark just for contrast. We're going to go back in around these poinsettias and use our dark green. Now, I know a lot of people who, when they do their shadows, they don't use the same color as they're doing. And you don't have to. Like, you can go back in with dark grays, or probably browns would be good. And I can show you, like if I took that coffee color that I used yesterday, this really dark one, you can go in and you can add some shadow with that just to kind of make it pop more. And that's all preference on what you like to do. See, back to the green. After this leaf here, I'm going to move on to some of the different leaves, and then I can just work on these fast forward, and then we can get to the big part here. Some grass green. I bought these things the other day at Dollar General. They are these, you know, those containers where like you can put books or paper or folders in that people use on their like office desk. And I got some of those, and those are my to-do bins. So I have been putting books in there that I want to either do flip throughs of, PDFs that I've already printed out that I want to do, or pictures I went through and I tagged some pictures like this. I just tagged them because those are on my to-do list. So hopefully, I told you guys I was trying to get organized. So hopefully all that kind of falls into place and I can start doing videos and getting back to live streams very soon. I think I said in another video, I have done a couple private live streams just to test out equipment and just to kind of get back into the mode of doing it, because I mean I kind of feel like I'm out of practice. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to move on to these little guys here, and I'm going to pretty much use the same colors. Just with these, I'm going to go kind of just around the bottoms. So all of these leaves here, this one, this one, this one, I'm all going to do the same as I did this one, these two right there. So for these, I'm just going to kind of go around the bottom. I'm going to go to, so I use that dark green, and then I'm going to go ahead and just use this green. And I'm going to skip that very light one because I want these to just be a little bit darker, so I'm not going to use the green yellow. I'm just going to go to the grass green. And finish them off because I don't want them to look all the same, but I do kind of want a lot of green in here because down in here I plan on doing a lot of reds. On the poinsettias reds, I'm going to do these little doohickeys there and there and there. I'm going to do all those red to just bring that red color back into the picture. So I figured on Rudolph here to go ahead and give him some extra green. And I'd like to know if you guys like me doing videos like this where I'm kind of explaining what I'm doing, or if you just want like just color and chat where I sit here, I color, I don't tell you what colors I'm using. We just color a picture, we talk about life or books that I'm reading, or things like that. But I do know that some people have asked, you know, on how to do certain things, and I'm trying to figure out what everybody would like, or the majority, because you guys know that I'm all about you know, what you guys want. Now on this part here, because they're not quite like this. I mean, I think they're supposed to be, they're just shorter, but I'm just going to put the dark at the base and kind of work out from there. We have a lot of new colors come into the community, which I really like. My numbers are growing. I'm getting close to the 1,500 mark. And if you guys noticed, I have all my analytics turned off, so you can't see the thumbs up, you can't see the thumbs down, you can't see the numbers of subscribers that I have. And there's reasons behind that. I'm tired of just getting crap about it, to be honest with you. It doesn't matter. I mean, numbers just do not matter. But when I do hit the 1,500 mark, and I'm only a few away from that, when I do hit that, I will let you guys know. We'll do a giveaway, and we'll have some fun there. I have 2 people so far that have contacted me that want to join me and co-host with me on some or all of my hashtags. So that's going to be nice. One of them is a newer channel. If you haven't checked her out, her name is Amanda Loves Art, and she's on Instagram too under the same name. I think it's Amanda_loves_art, and she's a sweetheart. So on the stems here, I'm going to go back. I'm not going to use the sepia like I used here. I'm just going to use this dark brown, and I'm just going to put that in here just along the edge. I always keep all of my colors around me that I had previously used, so this way if I have to go back to them, I can. So I'm just going to use that dark brown. I'm going to put in a little bit of this saddle brown, and then just the little bits that are still kind of white, I'm just going to go in with this bronze color and add that in. So then this way it kind of blends in with the reindeer, but it's enough that you can see what it is. Okay, let's move up to this one. And we're going to pretty much do the same thing. I'm going to go at the base here. These outside parts I am going to make just dark like I kind of did this leaf over here. And that's how we're pretty much going to do that. Okay, I am going to jump down to this veined leaf here because I'm not going to put the dark green in there. I'm just going to put it right here around the poinsettia. Just like that. I don't want it, oh, I forgot. No, that's right. I don't like these like spaces that I don't know what they are. I think that's this part that kind of goes around here. That looks good for my house, so that's going to work. Okay, so I just put a little bit of the dark green around the poinsettia, but I'm going to kind of make that leaf just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to skip the next color, which is the green, and I'm going to jump right into the grass green. And I am going to go back to the green color, but I'm going to color the majority of this grass green color. And then I'm going to go ahead and use that light lime just to add a little bit of that yellowness to the bottom to make it pop. Now we're going to go back to this green color and we're going to blend it up from where that dark is, just so we don't have that harsh dark to super light. Just a little bit. And then we're going to grab this green yellow and just do it like that. Just because I wanted to make it look a little bit different, and I wanted that like highlighted kind of area. Okay, so let's move on to these holly leaves. So for the holly leaves, I'm going to go back to my dark green, and for the holly leaves, I'm going to do them pretty dark. I want to do all these points in here dark. And we're going to go in with this green. And then all I'm going to do is use this this grass green here. And I'm just going to leave a little bit of that light. Just, and it's not going to be on all of them. It's just going to be on some of them where I can add some of this green yellow color. Do you guys put poinsettias out like on your dining room table for Christmas? I know when I was growing up, my mom always had a poinsettia out on the table. Last year I did like a fake poinsettia because I have this big sleigh that I put out on my dining room table. But my dining room table is huge, you guys. With both leaves in it. It's almost 12 feet long. So, I mean, it is huge. And so I have this big sleigh that I put in the center. And I had, you know, ornaments and some shiny stuff. And I had fake poinsettias in there. And I figured, oh, that's good enough. We put some lights on it so it lit up for the kids. But this year, we're not doing the big to-do like we did last year. Xander just isn't up for it, and we don't want him to miss out on what the other kids in the family are doing. So we're just going to have a little small thing and call it a holiday. Okay, I'm going to do this holly leaf here, and then we're going to move on to a different kind of leaf. So I think once you guys get, just know how to do, you know, 1 or 2 leaves, then you can just sail through the rest. And that's only for you guys that are coloring along. If you guys are just here for the chit chat and the therapy of watching somebody color, hey, that's cool too. I know I do that. I've been thinking about doing like a watercolor therapy kind of a video where I just sit here and I don't really talk. I just do some watercolors. I mean, well, I can't say I won't talk because you guys know that I talk a lot anyway. But just to have like a little quiet therapy session. I got some new paint today from my lovely friend, and they're so cool. They're out of this, they're out of Minnesota. There's this little company there that she got them from. They're called Josie Lewis, and it's just a 12 set of them, and the colors are just gorgeous. Okay, so let's move on to these ivy leaves that were throwing me off. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the dark green is what I decided. And I'm just going to go right here at the base. And then instead of using the other greens, actually I want to just add a little bit around here, I think. So instead of going back to the other greens, I picked out two others. I picked out olive, which is 027, and moss green, which is 026, just to give them a different feel. And it's not like that far off, but it's enough that I notice. And I am probably going to go back to one of those lighter greens. I'm not 100% yet on it, but I think I'm going to go, let's try this green yellow. Yep, that one will work. And just add that in just a little bit. Now I know that probably on camera that ivy leaf looks very similar to the others, but I promise it is a little bit different. And I'm debating on what to do with this background. I had a couple of ideas, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. But I do know that I am going to, on the outside here around, around the circle on the outside, I think I'm going to use some distressed inks and just kind of give it like that. I like using that, the vintage photo color a lot. So I think I'm going to do that just to give it that warm feeling. And back to the olive. If I grab the right pencil here. And the moss green. And you guys know that there are no leaves the same ever. So color them however you want. You don't have to color them all the same. I mean, if you want to, you can, because there are no rules in coloring. I try to make sure that I tell people that all the time. And they're like, oh, well, how am I supposed to do this? And I'm like, well, this is my suggestion or my opinion. But there's no rules. Just do what you want. Okay, so let's do another one. One more. I have to remember to write these colors down. So this way, when I get down here to these leaves, I know what color to do them. Because like I said, I don't know how far I'm going to get tonight. Xander is still kind of groggy. I'm really surprised that his throat didn't hurt though. But if they put his IV in his foot, so like when he gets up to go to the bathroom and things like that, he kind of winces about it. So he's getting up. He already got up about 15 minutes ago. So I'm hoping that I have enough time to go ahead and get some of this done. Let's go back and darken that up. And if you guys don't have these Zena colors, you can, you know, look through your other pencils and just pick out some greens that are similar or greens that you like for the leaves. Back to this moss green. And then I just want to add that light in there just a little bit. Okay, so that is how I'm going to color that. Oh, let's do these little ones really quick. So I'm going to eliminate this dark green, and I'm going to go to this, let me get rid of these olives and this moss. So I'm just going to go to the green, the grass green, and the light lime. Oh, and there was one pencil. Sorry if the camera is shaking, you guys. I have to get this pencil wherever the heck it went. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna have to sharpen that puppy again. But now I can at least sharpen it with the pencil sharpener that I want to use. Okay, this is the way about the size of the tips that I like to use with these pencils. I just think that it works a little bit better. Sorry about the camera shaking again. Okay, so we're going to go to the green. And we're going to put those in just at the base. Maybe go up a little bit on some sides. Okay, then I'm going to go to the grass green. And then I'm going to go to this light lime. And these I'm probably not going to go over twice like I do the other ones, because I don't want them to get too dark. Like I want these to be in the lighter family. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see all of that. From here, I'm just going to go ahead and finish up these leaves real quick, and we'll be back to do some more. I'm going to fast forward and put on a little bit of music for you guys, and it shouldn't take too long. Okay, so now we're gonna, I'm gonna do the center of this flower real quick. I'm using this amber color, number 056. And I'm just gonna go right at the base here and make it almost like a little half circle. And then I'm gonna grab this wheat. It's 046. This is like the cream of the Zenas, and it's not my kind of cream, but it works. That's why I used the Prisma cream on the other one. But for this, it works really good for what I'm trying to accomplish. So I'm just going to do it like that. And then for all these little dots here, I'm going to go in with my green. And I'm going to work it just around at the base. And then, because it's such a small spot. And then I'm going to go ahead with the grass green. And we're just going to do the tops of those. And that's going to be it for that. I'm going to go ahead and do the little hooves. And I'm just going to take the coffee like we used yesterday. I'm going to kind of just do the edges. Go in with our saddle brown. And then I'm going to go in with this bronze color to just finish it off. Now I might go ahead and go in there with like this little jelly roll pen here and just kind of put a couple little lines in there, because you know the hooves are kind of shiny, so I can just do it, you know, something like that. Okay, so let's get to this part right here and all of this filigree. Now I don't know how much I'm actually going to do on camera. I'm going to start it so this way you guys can see where I'm going to get as far as I can. And if I don't finish it all, I'll probably finish it off camera. So then when we come back, we'll work on all the stuff around it. And depending on how long that takes, we'll start in the background. So it might be 3 to 4 parts, and then we'll be done. Okay, so for the circle, I've decided to use coffee. And then back to our Jasmine, I'm going to use this amber color and this wheat. Are the 3 colors that I decided to do. Let me sharpen this pencil just a little bit here. Okay. I want to sharpen this coffee up too. All right. So how I'm going to do this, and there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can do it, you know, from dark to light, light to dark. It really doesn't matter unless you're trying to be precise with it. So on these inside sections here, I am going to, maybe I should do it over here. You guys might see better. So these inside sections here, I'm going to go from these little ivy leaves. And I'm going to use my coffee and just kind of bring, like here, it's kind of where it meets. So I want that to be a dark part. Down here where it meets the circle, I want it to be a dark part. We're going to go around these things, little doohickeys as I call them. So I always say, like, where things intersect, I kind of put my darkest. All right, so I'm going to go there. We're just going to do this section right now. And remember, you can go in and you can add and take out as much as you want. All right, so from there, I'm going to go to this Jasmine. And I'm going to go right over that coffee. And I'm just going to bring this Jasmine out. Now, I might need to add more coffee over here. I don't know yet. We're going to bring that out. And I just kind of like pull it from that coffee color. From both sides. I told you guys I like that. Oops, I missed that little intersection. I like that kind of vintagey look. Not that this is like super vintage, but I don't know. I kind of get like that real earthy kind of feel. Yeah, this section here, I don't like this coffee, so we're going to bring that out just a little bit more. And bring this jasmine up to that intersection there. Okay, and then I'm going to switch to the amber. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now between the amber is really going to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Just to give it like that punch of color. I might as well go and do this section too real quick, you guys. Okay, let's go back to this amber color. All right, so then the last color that I'm going to use, of course, is the wheat. Now with the wheat, I'm going to go back over everything. Just kind of blend it in. And I'm not going to go back over a lot of this with all of the colors. What I am going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to kind of go in with this, you know, my darker coffee. And I'm just going to darken up the areas that I think need darkening. Like I'm going to run some across the bottom. On that big part. And I mean, I've told you guys this before. If you're unsure and you think that you need to add or subtract and it just isn't in your eyes when you're looking down at it like this, not looking quite the way you wanted it to look like in your head, step back. Or what I do, what helps me the most is I get my cell phone out and I take a picture. Like I go right over and I take a picture of it. Just because then I can really see where I need to darken or lighten. And that always helped me. Because with that, I can be like, oh, I'm going to add a little bit here. Oh, I should add a little bit there. I'm really liking this jasmine color. Where's my dark at? So yeah, you just add until you get it the way that you want it to be. Now I like in here, I kind of want to make those where they meet, just like the line really dark so it looks like it's dimensional, like it's curving over. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do that. I might play around with this dark area. For some reason, this dark area here, I'm just not liking it. but it'll turn out fine. I'll just keep messing with it until I'm like, oh, okay, now I like it. And if not, that's okay too. I'll be satisfied with it. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do all these little sections in here. Now let's work on this big circle here. So how I'm going to do this, how I normally do circles is I like having like the, oh, how can I say this? Most of the time I like having it sandwiched. So like I would take my darks and then work in so that this way my light lines all the way through the center. So then this way it kind of, to me, it like this kind of reminds me of an ornament where if you have the ornament, it just kind of shines all around the edges of it. So that's what I'm going to do. We're just going to do a section here. And I just go real, skinny, I guess you would say. I just go right around the edge. How about we just say that? I go right around the edge with this dark color. Let's bring it up to here like we did over there. So then I go down both edges. Now, if you're going to do a dark background on this side, you really don't have to worry if you go over the lines or not. I'm trying to take my time, and I probably should have sharpened my pencil a little sharper. I'm trying to take my time and try to stay in the lines as much as I can. I normally always go outside of the lines. Okay, so we have that section, and then we're going to go in with the Jasmine. The Jasmine I do need to sharpen. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to kind of blend it over the coffee. And as you guys can see, like, this is a process. And a lot of Johanna's books, there's like a lot of leaves or a lot of filigree or things like that where it does take time. So if you, but a lot of hers are like the same things. So if you can just master, you know, like in the deer, there was a lot of the same leaves. So just master one leaf and get that how you want it. And then the rest of the leaves kind of fall into place. Now with this circle, you can tell that like the outside's the same size, but in the inside it kind of gets skinny in some parts. Other parts it's a little thicker, and that's okay. You don't have to be precise, and some of them might not have like that bright, the wheat color where it's kind of a little whiter. And don't fret about stuff like that. Like, that's just the small stuff, and we shouldn't sweat the small stuff. Okay, so then in with the amber. I'm going to try to do both sides at the same time, just leaving a little sliver of light in between. Now, because this is so small, I'm not going to go back over this. If I do, it'll just be with the coffee, the real dark color, around the edges, just to kind of clean it up a little bit and define it a little more. But I probably won't do that until I get the whole circle done. So then this way it's a little bit more uniformed. Okay, so we got that far, and then I'm just going to take my wheat and we're going to blend it all together. And I might do this on camera, like the whole circle. Just when I get some time to color, I can just flip the camera on, and it might be like in a couple of segments, but then I can just piece it all together and put it in one video for you. Just like for the next time, the next video, that could be like the start of it, just so you can see me finishing this real quick, and then we can move on from there. So today, that's pretty much where we're going to stop. We did all the leaves in here, and we're going to do this around the whole outside and all these little bitty parts in here, including the circle. This circle here, I'm just going to go with my coffee. I try to make my videos, I try to keep them about an hour, give or take a few minutes. So this way you guys don't have to sit there for 2 hours watching a video. You know, in live chats, it's different because you get to interact and you get to talk, and it doesn't seem like you're there for 2 hours. When you're watching a video, you're like, all right, come on already, and you're fast forwarding, and that's fine. I've been there. I've done that. It's like, okay, I already know how to do that leaf. Let's move on. And so I try to keep that in mind when I'm making videos. So that's why I try to keep them right around an hour. Okay, we're just going to bring that up, and we're going to have that lightest wheat color right in the center there. And let's blend that all in. I always do the light color first and then blend down if I can. So then this way that light color doesn't get muddy if for some reason your pencil gets a lot of the brown on it or something like that. Okay. So that is where I'm going to stop today. And like I said, off camera, I want to start working on this, or maybe like maybe on camera, at least some of it. So, and then we'll move on from here. Guys, thank you so much for all your support. Thanks for watching. If you guys are working on this picture with me, you can either do your, your work in progress on Instagram and tag me in it. And if you're not, that's fine too. Just hang out with me. Thanks, guys. Remember, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'm also going to leave Amanda's link down below. Go and check her out too. She's a sweetheart. All right, I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.